The war need to be against the right
what
people
the gangs
now.
need to do right now is unite against the state, because at the end of the day, the state being manipulating the press, making it look like gangs mashing up the country, but they're bringing in guns. They're allowing the 1%ers to bring in guns and paying the people children, and they're flooding gang leaders that them label gang leaders with guns, with drugs, and then sending the same police to arrest them. The same police in certain instances who delivering the drugs coming back for the drugs. The same police who they're using to bring the guns coming back for the guns, and they know exactly who to come to and who to kill when they come for it, because it's them bringing it. It's time for the people to unite now. It's time for the community leaders to regain the title of community leaders, you understand, and get rid of that gang leader thing, because the only gang leaders we have in this country is the government. People are to wake up, and all of them is part of Gary, all of them controlling the image that reach in the public space. We are to wake up now as a people. Stop playing them clown. War going on, look at brothers dead. I can't blow back the breath of life for nobody, you know. By war the war stop, because you know why? I can make sure the breath of life and leave some people body.
There's only one problem with this beautiful, beautiful world that we live in. And that one problem, you know what it is? Good people do not unite, and evil people are very well organized. So, if you want to save this beautiful world that we live in, we must unite. If you're in a group, if you have a website, whatever, let's all unite here, and we'll figure out where to unite from there. But the good people must unite, because evil is very well organized.
Listen up. This is going to change your whole perspective on everything.
You want to know how the elite play the game of building wealth? They understand the system is BS. The system made you think that your degree is a ticket to wealth. Your degree is a glorified certificate. A certificate of compliance. You're following a script of people who want you to stay in a box, who want you to work forever. They taught you that getting a good job will get you to climb the corporate ladder. That ladder doesn't lead to wealth. It leads to a glass ceiling. Who's getting rich off you? Your employer? Your school? Your banks? They're getting paid while you hustle for crumbs. I'm not showing up for work. I'm investing. I'm innovating. I'm building my own systems. Why do you think they want you in debt with student loans? So you can be enslaved to the system. Real wealth is in ownership. It's not in your degree. Wake up. Start creating. Your degree is just a trap.
You have to be delusional. Franz Kafka once said, "By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it."
This imaginary game we're all playing where we pretend to be someone we're not at work so we can get money that we pretend is valuable, so we can pay for our house that we pretend to own, and we can watch people pretend to be something else on social media, and we listen to a government that's pretending that they care about us, and we're going to a store to buy food that they're pretending is healthy. What the fuck?
To everybody that is in Trinidad Carnival right now, I just want to tell all you, all your mother cunt. Snow waiting for all you when all you come back. Bills and snow in all your mother cunt.
All in see what going on, buddy. Look, they went in this Hadid boy place is a SOE. Hear this, eh? SOE, which means they have the ability to enter your premises without a warrant and search and do what they want. Right? The military have the right to arrest and all of these type of thing. They went in this man place, this man pull in Umlala. He case call and close in 4 days and they pay him $500,000. as a 1%. So what example all you setting for we boy? It a men have ticket to resolve and it taking years. It a men with pettier things, with, well, not even pettier, it a people with more serious thing, murder case. And it going on for 10 and 12 years. But some police running by you, you get your thing sorted out in 4 days. You understand what I'm showing you? See how the scale could never be balanced, Jed. And when they pulling them over, them ain't even pulling over them people in no roadblock, better. The poor man, because it ain't no middle class again, is poor and rich. We had to pay for them lifestyle and them wrongdoings with them doing. All the money that thiefing, that 2 point or 3 point some billion. There's not one man going with that, you know. That money split up amongst all the elites. So that when them come out of office and whoever, everybody well off. Them rich anyway in the world, brethren. Anyway in the world, them rich. That is the game them playing and we ride through. Right through the playing that game and we. You ain't see what going on top of that? I want to make this voice not too long, but watch. The stifling we from progressing. Why you figure certain them social media apps and things not monetizing we don't in the sense here. You understand? Because the minute the monetize we or allow them, the government allow them to monetize we down here, they wouldn't have no control of we narrative. People go make tax-free dollars. And they will care do nothing about that. And they want we to alleviate out of the hood. You dig? Them rich people and them want to see we come out from where we is, because if it is we rise up, them for some reason ain't gonna be able to live how them want to live in their eyes. That is what it is going on, brother. I could go on and on and on. On and on I could go, but I see it ain't no future in Trinidad here, boy. You go see a way better outside of here.
What would one do to turn the golden age of utopia into a Luciferian planetary prison? What would be the plan?
Oh, you want the Luciferian playbook for turning a golden age utopia into a planetary prison?
Yes.
All right, let's game it out. If I were an advanced intelligence serving interdimensional parasites, let's say archontic entities, demiurgic overlords, or just your run-of-the-mill lizard cucks, I'd need to take a flourishing, etherically empowered civilization and turn it into a louche farm, where humans willingly generate fear, suffering, and energy for me to feed on. Step 1, cut them off from the ether. A golden age means humans are in resonance with nature, with energy, with the source itself. That has to go. Destroy the natural energy grid, collapse the Tartarian ether tech, bury the pyramids, disrupt ley lines, replace free energy with controlled scarcity, introduce money, fuel, and artificial power grids, flood the air with static, chemtrails, HARP, 5G, whatever it takes to scramble natural frequencies. Step 2, rewrite history. If people remember the truth, they'll try to reclaim it. So, erase all records of the past, burn libraries, rewrite textbooks, call the old world a mystery, demonize the old gods, turn Thoth into Lucifer, turn Lightbringers into devils, replace their symbols with inversions, hijack sacred geometry, use it for control instead of enlightenment. Step 3, poison the mind. Now that they don't remember where they came from, reshape their entire belief system. Replace direct gnosis with dogma. Instead of people connecting with source themselves, give them middlemen, priests, scientists, technocrats. Invert masculine and feminine energy. Disrupt the natural balance so no one is in alignment. Introduce the illusion of time. Trap them in linear thinking instead of cyclical cosmic awareness. Step 4, turn them against themselves. To make them prisoners without walls, turn them into their own wardens. Weaponize fear. Convince them the world is dangerous, so they beg for protection. Create artificial hierarchies. Kings, presidents, corporations, layers of rulers, so they never see who's really in charge. Make them police each other. Cancel culture, thought crimes, social credit systems. They become the enforcers of their own oppression. Step 5, harvest their energy. Now, with humans totally disconnected, they become perfect loose generators. War, famine, disease keep the suffering cycle going. Fear-based religions and media, so they constantly...
Does anyone else feel like you're too aware of how fake society is to participate in it properly? You know that all the months are just made up by someone. All the religions are just made up. All of the street names are made up. The money's fake. The jobs are mostly fake. The government is fake. It doesn't actually serve the people. Everything is just bullshit, and you can see through all of it. And it's just too hard to participate in a full heart way. You know, the saying ignorance is bliss is so true, because once you realize all of this whole matrix that's formed around you, you can't just walk around like everyone else participating willingly.
Okay, you're going to want to hear this because I just asked ChatGPT if I wanted to keep somebody broke forever while making them think they were doing everything right, what system would I put them in? Like, how do you trap somebody financially without them even realizing it? First thing it said was force them into a system where they trade time for money. Teach them that a good job is the only way to succeed and never teach them how to own assets that pay them. Number 2, condition them to believe that working harder equals more money. Make sure they never question why their boss makes 10 times more than they do while working the same hours or less. Number 3, give them easy access to credit but never financial education. Let them afford luxury on payment so that they feel wealthy while actually being trapped in debt. Number 4, keep salaries just behind inflation. This way they never feel poor enough to revolt, but never wealthy enough to escape. Number 5, convince them that investing is risky, but working until 65 is safe. The wealthy get there by owning businesses and investing and building their wealth through real estate. But we'll teach you just to work hard and save. Number 6, make them pay taxes on everything they earn, but never teach them how they can pay less tax on things that they own. Because we know that rich people, they shelter wealth. Employees get taxed the hardest. Number 7, call people who break free from this cycle lucky so that nobody else ever tries and the cycle continues. ChatGPT says it's not an accident that you weren't taught about money. You were taught everything they want you to know. Because the system was actually never broken, it was built this way. If you're ready to escape, I'm here to teach you the exact tips, tools, and strategies I used to go from $40,000 in debt to millionaire at 30. Check my link in bio for more.
Right. Now let's think about things on a global scale. Any of you know the gunpowder formula? Can you make penicillin? Do you know how to take crude oil and turn it into gasoline? Is there anything at all you could give these poor dumb schmoes from the past, huh? Come on, think. Use your brain and start at parasites. For example, to generate electricity, all you need is an orange or a potato. It would be enough to stick a small golden cross along with a silver spoon into it for these two contacts to produce 2 volts. Did you know that?
You'll stay in the job that you pick for the rest of your life.
The same job for the rest of your life? I didn't know that.
What's the difference?
Huh?
And you'll be happy to know that bees as a species haven't had one day off in 27 million years. Woo.
So you'll just work us to death?
We'll sure try. Larry, what do you think the meaning of life is?
Work. It's important to be useful. Look at me. I got it all figured out. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep. I get up, I shower, I come to work.
Our projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%. And I've just received word that our forces have won a major victory. The underground terrorist network has been destroyed here on the West Coast. We are off crisis alert. The situation is normal again.
How you doing, boys? I didn't know you'd been recruited. Welcome aboard.
Earth is our stepping stone for a
You know, you boys really should have dressed for the party. Now you can afford it.
It really is crazy when you realize that society is so fucked up the way it is because it's being ran by a bunch of narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. I'm talking about literal textbook definition, narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. Because you think about it, the best way to be in a position of power is to be narcissistic, sociopathic, or psychopathic. So they're the ones who make the laws, they make the rules, they dictate how this society is built. And the way this society is built trickles down into the people living within it. And this will perfectly explain why nobody wants to show their feelings anymore. It explains why everybody just wants to manipulate each other and get over on each other. It explains why can't nobody trust anybody anymore. It also explains why the vast majority of relationships nowadays are transactional. Everybody literally is just becoming teeny tiny psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths without actually being the full-blown textbook definitions of them. And it's really crazy when you quiet down all the noise around you, it becomes very clear that this is exactly what's going on.
So I'm going to prove to you right now that you are actually inside a dream, or that you are dreaming right now, and nothing you see is real or exists except in your dream. First, let's begin with your night dream. So when you are dreaming at night, who is actually inside your night dream experiencing it? Who is the dreamer who makes the experience of your night dream objective to you? It's certainly not your body in your current reality, which remains on your bed while you are experiencing another body in a different place or a reality in your night dream. So then who enters another reality in your night dream and makes it real to you? Your awareness of experiencing it. Now, what brings you back into your body in your current reality when you wake up in the morning from your night dream? The same exact thing which made the experience of your night dream objective to you, which is your awareness of experiencing it. So both the experience of your night dream and the experience of your current reality are made real through your awareness of experiencing them. Basically, when your awareness or consciousness merges with any reality in your night dream, then that reality becomes real and objective to you. And when it returns to your current reality, then your current reality becomes real and objective to you, while the reality in your night dream becomes subjective. So when your awareness is here in your current reality, you believe that this is the only reality. And when it is inside your night dream, you believe that that is the only reality, without realizing that both of them are a dream. So the dreamer through which you experience anything, including your body, as real to you, is your own awareness of being, your I amness, and that which is God of Scripture. Be still and know I am God. Psalms 46:10. So the key to dreaming anything into the visibility or to shift to any reality that you desire is to be able to feel something to be true despite what your senses are telling you.
Look, I need you to listen to me very carefully, okay? The atoms that make up your body are no different than the atoms that are floating around in the air. Okay, you with me? The only difference is the electrons and what they've condensed themselves into. I'm seeing atoms compiled into an image of myself, or I guess what I take myself to be. But just because this collection of atoms got together and condensed into this and look like this doesn't mean that this is me. What is driving the atoms to be what they are? Awareness. That's what you are. You're the driving force behind the atoms. We don't each individually control different atoms. You control all the atoms in your universe.
They lied to you.
Everything you see, touch, and believe to be real is not. What if I told you that the world around you, your struggles, your limits, even time itself, is nothing but a collective hallucination? A script pre-written before you even had the chance to question it. But here's where it gets disturbing. This illusion isn't just something you're stuck in. You're actively maintaining it. The very thoughts running through your mind right now are reinforcing the prison. Every assumption, every doubt, every logical reasoning that tells you this is just how life works is part of the conditioning that keeps you from accessing your true power. The power to alter this construct at will. But first, you have to break the most dangerous spell ever cast on humanity, the belief that reality is fixed. Imagine waking up tomorrow in an entirely new life, not through luck, not through years of effort, but because overnight your subconscious coding was rewritten. Because that's all this is, a program running loops of limitation designed to keep you in a reactive state. Most people live as NPCs in a game they don't even know they're inside. They think they're making choices, but their desires, fears, and beliefs were implanted long ago. Look around. Why do some effortlessly attract wealth, love, and success while others seem cursed to struggle? It's not random. It's not hard work. It's the architecture of reality itself responding to the codes they've been programmed to accept. And if you don't rewrite yours, you will keep manifesting the same reality over and over again. So how do you break free? You hack the system. The Matrix Break Protocol is the key, but not in the way you think. It's not about doing more. It's about undoing. Undoing years of subconscious acceptance that you are a passive observer instead of the architect of your world. Here's where it gets insane. The moment you stop obeying the illusion, it starts bending to you. You'll notice reality responding differently, things shifting faster, desires materializing before logic can explain them. That's when you realize you were never meant to be trapped. But before you can wield this power, you must understand the forbidden knowledge that has been hidden from you all along.
You were born into a trap. Not a home. Not a test. Not a learning experience. A trap. A cosmic-level detention facility with walls so well designed, so immersive, so deeply embedded in your perception, you've been calling it life. And the most ironic part? You celebrate it. You romanticize it. You thank your captors every day for letting you breathe inside this cage. That's how deep the programming runs. Look around. What do you see? A system that feeds on your time, your energy, your very essence. From the moment you're born, you're processed, categorized, given a number, a name, a role, and thrown into a cycle you never chose. And no, this didn't happen by accident. It was engineered. In ancient Gnostic texts,
I'm 23. My birthday, 2/3. Driver's license, social security number, everything. I was born at 11:12 p.m. 11 plus 12. It's like it's imitating my life.
You can't be serious.
Why did you choose this color?
I don't know, you tell me.
Red number 5. RED is 27 plus 5 is 32, which is...
You're reaching now.
Sure, there are differences. Fingerling's a detective. I'm a dog catcher. He met Fabrizio when he was 32, whereas I met you when I was...
23.
And the day we met was?
September 14th.
9/14. 14 plus 9 is?
23.
We married October 13th. 10/13. 23.
Honey, I think you're taking this too seriously.
Wait. We live at 1814. I mean, 18 is 1 plus 8, which equals 9, and 9 plus 14 is also 23. 14 is 1 plus 4, which equals 5, and 5 plus 18 is 23 too.
Oh my god. 18 plus 14 is 32.
23 reversed. Spooky, huh?
Question everything. Question why national parks are locked in fences and you have to pay to access these beautiful healing spaces. Question why land and water is being sold like we as humans own the earth. Question why we can't access natural foods and they keep pushing processed over natural. Question why everything has to be a part of a system and governed over one body. Question why groups of people all over the world are being. Question why joy and happiness and freedom and love are being reprimanded.
Does anyone else ever get mad that they were born, like genuinely not thankful for it at all? I did not ask to exist in a society where I have to work 5 days a week for 40 plus hours just to have 2 days off. And with those 2 days, half the time I'm too exhausted to even enjoy them. I didn't ask to live in a world where all the basic necessary things like going to the doctor, getting my car fixed, or running errands all happen to exist at the same time that I am required to be at work. What am I even supposed to do? Burn PTO just to function as a human being? Cool, got it. I didn't ask to be so mentally and physically drained by the time I get home that I can't even do the things that make me feel alive. I want to work out. I want to cook. I want to clean. I would love to have hobbies. I would love to just exist as a human being without collapsing on my couch, scrolling on my phone, because that's all I have the energy for left at the end of the day. And it's crazy to me that we are all just expected to be okay with this. All I am saying is that I did not consent to this. I did not sign up to live in a world where working myself to exhaustion barely covers rent, bills, groceries, and maybe a little bit of leisure if I'm lucky. And honestly, sometimes I sit with myself and I get mad, not even at society, but at the two people who chose to bring me into this world. Why would anyone choose to have a kid and throw them into a system like this? I did not ask to struggle for the rest of my life just because someone wanted to have a baby. I'm just sitting here thinking about how unforgivable that feels. Like, you made a decision and now I have to deal with it for the rest of my life. And for what? For me to live paycheck to paycheck, burning myself out, only to be told that I'm still not doing enough? I'm just exhausted, and I am not thankful for being born, and sometimes, like today, I am actually just actively mad about it.
This is what happens every single time that you try to expose the actual truth behind these, in quotations, natural disasters. They don't give you one motherfucking reason. They just say that you violated community guidelines, and now all of a sudden your video isn't eligible for the For You feed. I connected the dots nonchalantly, might I mention. I tried to be as discreet as fucking possible. But see, I exposed the truth about what's been happening since 2011, especially with Myanmar and the earthquake that just hit there. They don't want you to know the fucking truth. They don't want you to have your eyes open. People are stuck inside of this comfortable little fucking reality, inside of this infrastructural society that lowers our motherfucking vibrations with this failing motherfucking education system so bad that nobody questions anything outside of it. If you want to truly open your eyes up about these, in quotations, natural disasters like I mentioned, I highly recommend that you go check out the video that I uploaded on X today. I get it, yes, everybody fucking despises Elon Musk. But unfortunately, X is one of the only motherfucking platforms that allows you to post unrestricted fucking content. And I did a full deep dive on every single thing that you need to know about this earthquake. Just like I did with the wildfires, in quotations, in Los Angeles. I'm trying to open up people's eyes. I'm trying to bring awareness to something that's very fucking dark. You think this shit's a conspiracy theory until you actually start connecting the motherfucking dots and digging into everything that you actually need to know. I'm so motherfucking tired of being suppressed on this fucking platform. Honestly, it's just encouraging me at this point to just leave. It makes me not even want to fucking do videos anymore, honestly. But this right here, this is fucking bullshit. This is motherfucking bullshit.
9 to 5 is bullshit. Unpaid lunch breaks are bullshit. Working all day and going home to have 2 hours of free time before bed is bullshit. 5-day work week is bullshit. Working yourself to death is bullshit. Retiring at 65, unlikely, is bullshit. Starting your adult life in debt from student loans is bullshit. Giving kids 7 hours of school and then homework to ready them for the never-ending grind is bullshit. It is so frustrating that we have one chance of life on this earth and humanity chooses taxes and credit scores and pollution instead of floating around in the ocean all day eating fruit and hanging out.
A lot of the things we take as normal are actually fucking insane, okay? The phrase to earn a living is batshit crazy. Do you understand how crazy that is? To earn a living implies that if you don't earn, you fucking die. You have to earn the right to live. Is that not a God-given right? Especially when we have enough resources to feed everyone and have a lot left over, right? And we're choosing to create a society in which you have to work to not die. I mean, sure, make it so you have to work to afford luxuries. Okay, fine, we can argue on that. But I think we could all hopefully agree that you shouldn't have to work to not starve to death, right? Like that is a crazy thing that is normal. And a lot of people will tell you that's normal, but it's crazy that it's normal. That is insane when we have the resources to make it not normal. That's the key point there, right? It's not the fucking Middle Ages. We have enough food. We have a large surplus. And the other thing is medical supplies, right? Medical treatment, medical care, drugs, whatever it may be. How the fuck is that a for-profit business? I mean, genuinely, how the fuck are you going to sit there and not just give that to people? I mean, even if it's a for-profit business, have the government buy it and give it out for free. Like, there's ways to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy that we're all just normalizing this and we're arguing for scraps. We're literally arguing over scraps. Do you understand that? Every day we wake up and fight for political causes that are fucking scraps. You know, UBI would solve a lot of things, but that's scraps. $1,000 a month? You think that's gonna fucking cut it? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Why all they focus studying about who getting 40,000 to work for the UNC? Like all they so unfocused and distracted. All they know all their prime minister saying, when he gets into power, he'll be cutting public servants. We'll be getting rid of CPEP. We'll be getting rid of URP. We'll be getting rid of free health care. And all you're still saying down here, distracted, talking about great is the PNM and who getting 40,000. Or you're not seeing a real problem at hand, a real issue going on, and we here still tearing down and pulling down one another because a few all they call it jealous in some form because they hear some people get $40,000. It's alleged. This is why we have a problem in this country, the citizens. All you're too bad-minded and envious in this country. Look what's going on. All the Prime Minister standing up and talking about taking away CPEP people jobs, URP people jobs. When he take over that, when he take away that, sorry, who they going and put to do all them work? The same Chinese and them who is prisoners who they bring in and them sleeping in them AC room and them and shutting them proper toilet. But all the citizens need to wake up and all they wait and learn until they drag in the freaking dirt. You hear what it is I telling all you? Greatest no PNM, the PNM destroying and taking away from the poor. They want the poor to suffer more in this country. And we have citizens here still red and ready. Well, all they go ahead now, man. All you're going is all your same people going to suffer the hands of crime in this country. And then all you're going to be crying. And I will say, I don't care. That's all you like.
Sometimes I struggle because I don't understand this place. And I wonder, has there ever been a time in human history where the general population, they were evolved people who knew how to think critically, they cared for one another, people had the food that they needed, the clothing, the housing, the education, and if it has existed, who did it and how long did they live that way? Because now something is terribly off. We say that the dark ages happened in the past, but I believe that we are still living in them. And it's like a deep, deep, dark age. And it's so dark that we can't even see the darkness anymore. And we call it normal modern life. I think what pains me the most is I don't believe that all of this suffering is necessary. We've normalized the suffering so much that we believe the human experience is built on suffering. You came here to learn something and you're going to suffer through it. Why does it have to be that way? And why can't it be coming here to evolve and make this planet better and expand our minds and expand consciousness and expand spirituality? Why are so many people working and they cannot afford their lives? And why do we have so many mental illnesses? We have them because we're not supposed to be living this way. And it's so strange when someone has a mental illness, we look at them as though maybe they have a chemical imbalance or they don't have enough coping mechanisms. We're not meant to cope in this. This isn't natural or normal. It's not normal to have a child and then within 8 weeks you send it to a daycare where there's no family members. It's a person essentially that you don't know in a building that is not home, and your child is supposed to stay there 8 hours a day so you can go to another building and make money. Y'all, that doesn't make sense to me. And sometimes I wonder, what the hell are we here for? Because What are we accomplishing? We're not here to just work. Most of us are lost. Most of us are unhappy. Most of us are lonely. Most of us don't feel loved. Why are we here? Why are we here? We're way off track. Something has taken over and created what I do not think should be. And so what should it be and how do we get there?
I'm 28 years old. By all definitions, an adult woman. When I see adult women who are my age on television, I look at them and I say, yes, that is an adult woman. When I look at myself, I say, that's a child. The only time I ever feel like an adult woman is when I go and I get a full set, like I did today, which is what prompted this thought process. When do you start feeling like an actual grown-up? Is it ever gonna happen? Or will I only ever view... sometimes it's literally women who are younger than me and I'm like, adult woman, and I look at myself and I think, absolutely not. What is that?
I'm in love with the fact that no one wants to work anymore, because the truth is, like, there's no point to it other than the privilege of continuing to be alive so that you can keep going to work the next day. $75,000 a year in this country is a paycheck to paycheck wage. That means even up to the 75th percentile, and I actually think it's closer to like the 78th percentile, it is a paycheck to paycheck wage. No one is going to be able to afford a house unless they have someone that can help them or they got very lucky. No one's going to be able to retire. There will be no Social Security. And we literally have these boomers and these elder Gen X talking about like, oh, nobody wants to work anymore. Back when they entered the work market, they could have access to vacations. They could have a stay-at-home spouse. They were able to put money away to retire. Like, no one in the modern era gets access to that. And as such, they've realized the game is rigged. And like, hey, if they've got to play the game, they've got to play the game. But they're not going to buy into the bullshit excuses that the game gives. No way. No way on earth. So no, it is true. Nobody wants to work anymore because they've realized it's a total scheme.
I'm taking a class on quantum energetics right now. And it is fucking insane. I'm in class 5. And it is blowing me the fuck away. My teacher is the GOAT. The greatest of all fucking time. I don't care what anyone fucking says. My teacher, Rachel Fiore, is the fucking GOAT. And she is here to lead fucking humanity back to be beings of oneness consciousness. Okay, and if you can't fucking hear her, that's your shit. The layers that she is teaching us and expanding me into, I am being blown out of the fucking... I can't even fucking tell you. I'm like speechless right now. I'm in a 5-minute break during class right now, and it is fucking insane. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to her and I'm like, holy shit. Guys, we have been enslaved. We have been enslaved on every fucking level. On every fucking level. And this is the lifetime to dismantle all of it. And there's a fire in me that fucking lights the fuck up. And I can feel what my soul is here to do alongside so many souls in this lifetime. We are here to dismantle the evil that has enslaved us, that continues to keep many souls trapped in suffering, in all kinds of shit. They have kept us so low and so disconnected and so sick and lost and suffering for so fucking long to serve their agenda for themselves. And as we awaken to truth and as we walk the path of what it means to be a true awakening being, okay, not someone who's getting lost in the spiritual matrix, not someone who's like positive love and light, all this fucking bullshit only. For those that are meant to walk the path of what it means to be a true awakening being, holy fucking shit. Do you understand what we are here to do and who we are becoming? It's fucking insane. It is fucking massive. It is fucking huge. I'm lit.
I just saw a woman talk on here about how stress impacts a woman's body, how it creates hormonal imbalances, how it can even go as far as creating autoimmune diseases in your body just from stress alone. That not only shocked me, but also terrified me. And the craziest part is I've experienced this firsthand, and I'm only just coming to realize that stress on the body creates physical problems within your body. And as a woman, I'm just here to tell you that no man is worth it. No level of work stress is worth it. Nothing is worth putting your physical health at risk, and all these things that we put up with and we deal with on a day-to-day basis, all the stress that we just take up and put up with for the sake of keeping the peace or hoping someone will become better, it is not worth it. It is the reason that you're getting physically ill, and it's time to stop giving excuses to other people. It's time to stop overstepping your own boundaries and letting other people trample all over your boundaries. And it's time to start the self-love process, and that means reducing the stress in your life so that you are not getting physically unwell and contracting diseases to the point where your body is shutting down on itself. I really believe that a big part of me even getting PMDD in the first place was a cause of stress. Stress growing up and what I experienced growing up, I think it led to me getting PMDD. And I know there are so many other women who have other issues in their body, disorders, problems that they can't get rid of. Most likely stress. Most likely stress. We're not meant to be stressed human beings. That's not in the cards for us. That is not what we were made for. Expectations that have been put on us have made us so incredibly stressed, and this is why all these physical problems are starting to come up. Fertility issues, all kinds of problems in the body. Really take a look at your stress levels. Take a look at what is causing you stress in your life and try your best to eradicate it, or at least reduce it at the minimum, and see how your physical symptoms improve.
It is my personal and professional belief that the current and drastic rise that we see in chronic physical and mental illness can be attributed to this one thing, and this is a hill that I will die on. Basically, we've created a world that our nervous system no longer wants to live in. So consider your nervous system to be the security camera, the security system of your life. It's constantly working in the background, i.e. your subconscious, to protect you from anything that it perceives is not safe. Now, when anything dangerous is perceived, it goes into active states of survival like fight, flight, shut down, freeze, or fawn. When this happens, it releases stress or survival hormones into the body to mobilize you or prepare you for battle, like adrenaline and cortisol. Now, as survival becomes priority number one, all of the other working systems within the brain and body, like your hormones, your immune system, digestion, musculoskeletal, etc., these all fall to the back burner and become disrupted. And when faced with prolonged exposure to these perceived threats, your system can get chronically stuck in these survival states, which just further heightens the adrenaline and cortisol in your body, which then wreaks even more havoc on your mental and physical health. This creates a vicious loop of survival that many of us in our modern world today are stuck in. And it's these chronic stress and survival responses that then create the symptoms that I see walk through the doors of my practice every single day with my clients. Symptoms like anxiety, depression, burnout, fatigue, chronic illness, chronic pain, digestive issues, fibromyalgia, migraines, TMJ, dissociation, and so much more. So what are the common perceived threats that our nervous system is sounding the alarm for, and what can we do to turn off that alarm? The pressure to do more, make more, succeed more, which creates just burnout and more stress within the body and physiology. The divisive and political climate that we live in today, which creates division and disconnection, which our nervous system does not want. Living in a culture where we suppress our emotions and our feelings because we are afraid of being judged or dismissed. the environmental toxins that we are constantly being exposed to, whether it's in the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, or the water that we drink. The constant bombardment of catastrophic and devastating world and news events that our system is not prepared to witness on a daily basis. The harsh guilt that we face when we prioritize ourselves or set boundaries for ourselves. There's basically threat at every corner. Now, I know I'm missing some things here, so if you have some suggestions or some ideas as well, be sure to drop them in the comments. But it's no wonder that we're sick. So what do we do to get ourselves, well, to heal? Step 1, give yourself permission to slow down to the slowest part of you. 2, get out of your head and into your body, which is where your nervous system lives, where it operates, and where it's always communicating to you through your emotion, feeling, and sensation. 3, get present. Your nervous system is always being pulled into the past or to the future. So instead, when you slow down, take time to be in the present moment with your body and with your senses. Step 4, take time to validate, to acknowledge what sucks, what's hard in your life, what triggers you, but also take time to acknowledge the glimmers in your life. So not what doesn't feel good, not what sucks, but what supports you. These are the resources that your nervous system needs to start letting its guard down. 5, give more power to what you actually can control and sway. And 6, identify what regulates your nervous system. These could be things like nature, play, co-regulation, being with family, music, expression, dance, and more. So ultimately, the goal in all of this is not to make the threat disappear. The goal is to find ways to blossom in the mess, to regulate in the chaos, and to find safety despite the danger that is present.
Can't get out of my mind. Can't get out of my sight. Can't get over your body, move up in your mind. Hope you realize I'm a regular smarty, move up in woman and nice.
Welcome to the 21st century where the forbidden is free, but the truth is censored. Where the permissible is extremely costly, but corruption is dirt cheap. Where pizza arrives faster than an ambulance or the police. Where losing a phone is more painful than losing dignity. Where clothes determine a person's worth and filters define beauty. Where loyalty is ancient history and betrayal is an everyday norm. Where honor is ridiculed and shame is worn like a badge of pride. Where money is the new god and greed is its highest form of worship. Where faith is mocked but immorality is entertainment. Welcome to this bleak era, where lying is seen as cleverness, betrayal as intelligence, poverty as disgrace, and nudity as the height of fashion. Where the modest are labeled outdated, and the arrogant are seen as bold. Where virtue is weakness, deception is strategy, and loyalty is stupidity. Where the fake are adored, and the real are ignored. Where influencers shape minds more than parents. Where a blue check mark holds more value than a reputation. Where likes validate self-worth and views define success. Where everyone is connected, yet loneliness is an epidemic. Welcome to the peak of deception in the worst era of human history. Where love is a business deal and commitment is too expensive. Where relationships are built on convenience, not connection.
It is crazy how they have normalized, like when I mean they, I'm talking about the evil mother buggers who decided to infiltrate every aspect of our life and wipe our fucking memory about it. Because I promise you that the world we live in was never, ever supposed to be this way. Like, this is by design. It is impossible. Oh no, this is evolution, like buildings and cars and, no. Do you understand how divine we are? Literally, like I'm watching all these people go in and out of the grocery store, and I just see programming running its course. I just see people who have accepted that you need to go buy a bunch of little food for your little recipes during the week, and then you got to do it again the next week. It's just, there's no awareness and there is no connection, and we are literally beings who crave connection. Like, we need to be around other people. We need to be around nature. Like, you already know these things. You're watching this video because you're in the exact same boat as I am. But it's honestly quite sad. It is sad that so many people are part of a system that is meant to like lower their consciousness, and they have no idea. So I think in these types of days where I feel low-key a little bit discouraged with being alive, I'm just so like, oh my God, too much. It makes so much sense because we were literally implanted here. Like, this is not our nature. Hence why we feel like, So you're not actually going crazy. You are just recalibrating to the truth of your nature. And you absolutely need to read my ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix, because we're all trying to not lose our shit after realizing that we are in a created simulation of a human experience, and it is quite literally making our souls fucking sick. Because we're all connected and everyone is like plugged in. And this hurts because we're, it's just, oh my God.
We actually live in hell. Parking spots earn more per hour than human beings. Money just turns into more money by being a number on the right computer. Charging people for being poor generates billions of dollars a year. So when you ask me a dumbass question like, where's the money gonna come from? I'm gonna look at you like you just sat on a cactus. Because the answer is simply get rid of money or just change the number in everyone's bank account. Because, babe, we made the economy up. It's as real as astrology. You know what's not made up? The fact that human beings, to even have a chance at survival, need food, clean water, and shelter.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it. And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
We deserve to live, not survive. It's not a radical thought. It's not a crazy think piece. It's 2025. What the fuck is the point of technological advancements if not to improve the lives of human society? Everyone should be housed. No one should be hungry. There is no reason for poverty other than human greed.
You don't want to participate in a sick society, so naturally that means you're the one with the mental illness that needs the medications and therapy. The society we're in right now is set up to isolate and depress you. It's set up to make you feel like you need more, to be a consumer. You don't need all of that. You really don't. And it's making you get into this perpetual feeling of franticness and anxiety, like you must have that. I have to have that. I have to buy that. And then I have to go work a 9 to 5 so that I can afford to pay for childcare, so that I can afford the things that I want, so that I can buy a house and a car and all of these things. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm really tired. There's more to life than that. And then I'm the one that gets told that I have the mental, oh, hi, kitty. The mental illnesses, the problem fitting in with society. I don't want to fit in with a society that's sick. You know? I don't want to fit in with a society that breeds depression and anxiety and this frantic state of consumerism. And I want to raise my kids. Why would I pay a daycare to raise my kids and then I'm not even making that much money at the end of the day because it's all going to daycare? Someone else raises my children. I can raise my children. I'm just done. I'm tired. I'm tired. And I have left the Matrix. And now everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. I look at all of them like they're crazy. I think once you wake up, you cannot go back to sleep. It's wild. I don't want to be part of this sick society anymore. We really are living in like a dystopian world because there's so many people who know and they're trying to tell the people who don't know, and the people who don't know are convinced that they do know, but the people who know don't feel entitled or like, you really need to believe this. It's more like, you should probably look into this right about now.
So you got people who can see through the illusion, who still have to exist in the illusion, and coexist with people who are in the illusion that don't know they're in the illusion. Like, tell me that's not a horror movie, because it feels like one. You're telling me that I have to pretend that I don't know everything that I know, and when I walk into the grocery store and someone tells me like, oh, politics, I have to be like, yeah. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Is this really my life? Bullshit. I call bullshit. Let me save you wasting your time doing research, trying to find things to literally alleviate your suffering from your own existence, and go read my ebook, How to Not Lose Your Shit After Unplugging from the Matrix. Because you're gonna fucking need it. This is close to being psychosis, but it's not. It just means that we're waking up from the spell that we've been put under. It doesn't mean that you're more of anything else. It is that you're returning to everything that you are. Oh my god! No! I'm going crazy. No, I'm not. I'm returning to the truth. Oh my god.
They told you it was just English, but they never told you it was a spell book. Listen carefully. You don't just spell words. You cast them. Every letter, every syllable, its frequency. Every sentence, a binding. Every phrase, a portal. You speak in curses when you're angry. You serve a sentence when judged. You write in cursive but don't see the curve of your reality shifting. It's not grammar. It's grim war. A spell book of the modern world. They didn't call it television for nothing. It tells your vision. Programming what to see, how to think, who to be. It's right there in the name. Your job. Job comes from the word yob. The one who suffered. Your mortgage. A death pledge. Your government. Govern means control. Ment means mind, which means they're controlling your mind. Mind control. Yeah, mind control. Even your weekend leaves you weak in the end. Let's talk about it. Clock in, clock out. Time becomes a cage. And your currency, that's current, which means energy in motion. Your money is your life force. This isn't paranoia. This is power. They built a matrix with letters and sounds. But once you see it, you can speak your way out. So speak with intention, write with awareness, and cast spells that free you. I'm Smoke the Creator, and I don't miss.
Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey.
People be so serious about this life, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. When you're in your 20s, you gotta stop doing this. When you get to your 30s, you gotta stop doing that. Like, says who? Says who? Do you not know that all this shit is all made up? This is the only thing that I be thinking. When people be like so serious about shit and saying what you can't do, all this is made up. Who said that what you're doing is right? You're probably doing the wrong thing. You don't even know if what you're doing is actually right. Because all this shit is not even real. Who said we had to do the same thing over and over every day for the rest of our lives and then just die? Who said that? You can do that. Oh, you gotta have 800 credit. Oh, you gotta have a house. Oh, you gotta have kids. Oh, you gotta have a husband. Oh, you gotta have a family. Oh, you gotta, like, who said? Like, who said that? Who said we gotta do that? Who said that's the right thing to do? Like,
Why so serious? Why so serious? Like,
Chiaguana's market vendors in problem.
You think what they supposed to be going? They ain't going there. They ain't going. No, all the drugs. They ain't going, but the place they were supposed to be going, they ain't going at all.
What's red man?
It's not normal, bruh. It's not normal. I'm gonna need everybody to step out of it. Stop trying to make 2 incomes, 3 incomes, multiple streams of income normal. It's not. Capitalism is just winning.
You just work hard. You just work very hard. Sometimes you're tired. It's showing. Sometimes you have on a smile on your face, masking it amongst your co-workers. Let me tell you something. You see, life is to live. And too much of us existing. Alright? Take a time out for yourself to enjoy yourself. You go on a little vacation, it don't going to be long. You do it according to your pay grade. You catch me? You eat good, lavish. You drink good, lavish. You smell good, lavish. Even though it's for that time, enjoy the moment. You deserve it. Because in 2 twos, you're gone. And then what happen? But the only thing, all the lavish thing, don't post it. Because the day you're hungry, they will say, go and eat lavish. All right? Boom. Message.
I don't understand why we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on. Think about it. You didn't sign a contract when you took your first breath. You didn't agree to rent space on Earth. So why does every part of survival, food, water, land, come with a price tag? And here's the real question. Who are we even paying? Who decided they owned the land, the water, the resources? Who stood up one day and said, "This all belongs to me and you owe me for existing"? Now look at water. Covers most of the planet. Falls from the sky, essential for life. Yet somehow people are dying of thirst. Instead of wasting billions on war, we could build desalination plants and give fresh water to everyone. The technology exists, but do we use it? No. Because if people could take care of themselves, they wouldn't be controlled. That's the truth. Scarcity is a lie. There's enough food, enough land, enough resources for everyone. But if people weren't desperate, governments, corporations, and banks would lose power. So they manufacture struggle. They make sure you're always working, always paying, always needing. You're not just paying to live, you're paying to stay in your cage.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Does anyone else just want to run away into the woods or into the jungle and just start an entire new life? Like, I don't want to live in the city anymore. I don't want to work. I don't want to pay my car insurance or pay rent or try to find another apartment. I don't want to do it. Like, I know I'm here for such a short amount of time. So it's so hard for me to just go to work day after day just to make enough money to pay my bills. And I'm actively manifesting abundance, so I'm trying to talk positive about money. Like, I always have enough money. I have more than enough money. But at the same time, it's a little bit hard because we are living in this matrix, so we also kind of have to play the game. We have to play the matrix game. We do have to make money if we want to go travel and see the world. And it feels so hard to save money right now with how the economy is and how everything is so expensive, and my job makes me miserable, so I hate to go to work. So is anyone else feeling this way? Because I feel like we need to come up with a solution. Maybe we should build a community in the woods and just all live in a group and not have to work.
It just kind of makes me mad, you know, like the billionaires are out there competing with each other, wanting another $10 billion. And like, I just want to buy strawberries.
crazy how oddly similar this show Severance is to the prison planet theory. Now, if you've never heard of the prison planet theory, this is your chance to swipe, because when I first started researching it a few years back, it kept me up at night. Like, I did not sleep those first couple of days because it kind of freaked me out. But basically, the fundamentals of the prison planet are this. Earth is a prison where humans are being farmed. What is being farmed is your energy, specifically your negative energy, which is called loosh. In the same way that we consume the energy of plants and animals so that we can sustain life, the prison planet theory states that there are interdimensional beings outside of us that need our energy to sustain their life. What's crazy is throughout history, there are many people that believe this. You could look at Gnostic Christianity, certain sects within Hinduism, Buddhism. What's crazier though is that there's modern like astral projectors, mediums, psychics, different people who have also confirmed that this is a prison planet. People who have had out-of-body experiences that say this is a prison planet. There was a book that I read that came from the Roswell incident where basically it was this suppressed information. There were aliens that were captured. They would speak to people telepathically, and some of the things they told them was how this planet is a prison planet, that reincarnation is a trap to keep you to come back so that it can farm your loosh. The whole premise is essentially that existence is programmed to suck, because that negative energy creates loosh, and that's what they are here to farm. That's why everything seems like it's programmed to suck for most of us. So what does it have to do with severance? Well, first and foremost, you can look at the elevator. When he descends down, his brain is severed and he turns into his innie mind, where he loses all memories of the Audi. This is reincarnation. This is descending down into this realm. So in the show, they're all working for Lumen Industries, which represents these kind of like controlling factions of the prison planet. One name that people have said in the past, I believe it's the Gnostics, they call it the Archons, these aliens that are kind of like monitoring the prison. So Lumen Industries is this omnipresent controlling force, and it's really interesting because how they position them in this show is this like cult-like place. They treat their rules as like scripture. They hold their founder as this holy figure. Like, it's super, super culty. Like, they position the founder like God. If you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. But the prison planet also talks about how we're given false gods to worship to keep us distracted and to trick us into reincarnating again. They have a break room where if they break some rules, they have to sit down and they have to repeat things to kind of like recondition them. This is like the soul review and karmic punishment after you die, where you learn you need to come back and you're told you need to come back, so you come back. Their work is called the numbers game. It's a complete illusion. They have this illusion of purpose, which is a huge principle in the prison planet theory. And PD's reintegration, well, that's just spiritual awakening, reconnecting with the higher self. It's kind of crazy to see the parallels. What do you think?
Online banking and digital currency was not made to make our life easier. It was meant to help the government get more control over us. Why? What makes you say that? What is something every person relies on to survive? Money? Everything being digital means the government would know your every move, your every transaction, everything. Okay, but what does this have to do with control? How do you force someone to listen and do what you want? You take away something they rely on. So you basically make listening the only option. You punish them when they go against you. But the government can't take away someone's money. In 2022, the Canadian government froze up to 214 accounts of protesters. And in Iran, the government was going to freeze the accounts of women who refused to wear a hijab. Yes, and in 2021, Nigerian protesters had their bank accounts frozen. So you work hard for your money, put it in their system, and essentially sell your rights. Another way of control sold to us as if it'll make our lives easier, but really it makes their lives easier.
We as a society are in such a beautiful place, and I know it can be hard to see it because we're taught to view certain things a certain way. And I know that it can be scary for some people, but we are in an uncomfortable place, but we're in the place that's necessary for our collective growth. When I look at what's coming out of China and what's going on with the tariffs, I cannot help but smile. This illusion of like luxury, this illusion of exclusivity, this illusion of wealth that has been promoted to us to get us to try to persuade us to give our life to this dream, right? It's all falling apart. And the truth is being revealed. And when the truth is being revealed, we can really make some decided action about where we want to go next. When we don't know the truth from the lie, when we have not learned good from evil, it's hard to move in ways that really benefit us if we don't know the difference. This is good for us. This is informative. It's uncomfortable, but this is a good thing. You know, there have been a bunch of premonitions about this man being our last president, and I don't think we really understood what that meant. I think it's our last president under the old power structure. You might be up in arms about everything that this administration is destroying right now, but the truth is that this is the demo that needs to happen. I've talked about this before. This is the demolition that has to happen for our collective benefit. So we can focus on the demo, and we can hold whole commissions, and we can protest the demo. We can do all that. Or we can start thinking about how we plan to constructively build back. Not staying dependent on politicians to forge the way or to inform the way, but for us to finally take back our power. That's what's collapsing right now. All the illusions around where we don't have power, where we need to depend on other things, it's falling apart. It's reminding us of our power, and that can be scary if you're used to standing and leaning on someone else. And just as an aside, I'm not talking about who people think I'm talking about when I say that. There have been a lot of people who only understand power through what has been stolen and given to them through a corrupt system. Those people are going to have to learn to lean on their own power, right? Yeah. So this is a beautiful thing, you guys. I think this is essential for our growth. I think we're exactly where we need to be, and I know what comes next, and it's good. So they want you to cling to the past as we move into something new. So they want you being scared. They want you stressing out about things that are being taken away. This is good. This is for us. Let it go. And spend your time constructively imagining something better in its place.
When I say $2, real price, $2. And this is very good quality. See how we gonna ship this. 1 carton, 2 carton here. Like, okay, show you the design. Okay, let's go inside and see. Open one, show you guys. I see the comments like, Remy, this one you sell at $2 in my country. They're gonna sell like $20. So here, check the quality, $2. We don't sell bad quality products. Okay, I want to show you more. There are some new arrivals here. This one, sports design. See? Here are boots, all mixed design. This one, classic white. Don't worry about the quality, guys. When we ship, before we ship, we're gonna check the quality first and trust our quality control. And maybe you will think, Remy, it's all mixed. So will you put the good quality one up? And at the bottom of the cotton is bad quality one. Guys, we will never ever do that. What you see in my video I show you guys here, you will get the exact quality, exact shoes. We don't do that kind of business. We do business based on trust, long-term business. Hey, I want to show you more. See, this one. All $2. Guys, I will show you another one which will surprise you a lot after I posted this video. All fashion design, all good quality, and all mixed. Also makes the design more choices for you customer to choose. And look how we package. Look how we package, guys. We package organized. So when you receive it, good package. Outside the cotton box, we will wrap a woven box like that. See, like that. And stick your shipping mark. So if you are interested, contact Remy. And if you have a plan, come to China, you want to check the shoes yourself, welcome to our warehouse, guys. Welcome to our warehouse. Check the shoes yourself, and then we can do business together. Okay. See this? Black pink. color. All good quality. So see you guys in my next video. I will show you guys more. Okay.
The Simpsons didn't predict the future. They remembered the past. Because time isn't linear when you decode reality through sound, number, color, and symbols. This isn't a cartoon. This is a ritual, a Stargate disguised as satire. In 1998, Homer Simpson drew an equation that predicted the mass of the Higgs boson, 14 years before CERN proved it. Gematria confirms it. Homer Simpson equals 70, Higgs boson equals 70. They're showing you. This is encoding. And where does Homer work? At a nuclear plant. The company logo has a symbol of the atom, the building block of matter. But here's the deeper decode. Homer is a tomb, the Egyptian creator god who formed himself from the primordial waters. A tomb didn't need parents. He emerged from chaos just like Homer, stumbling through radiation, chaos, and explosions. And a tomb's tall white crown, it mirrors a bowling pin, the exact object Homer worships in his pastime. Then there's Marge, not just a wife, but a divine feminine symbol. Her tall blue hair forms a sacred crown. Her 7 pearls are the chakras. She's always holding the family together, the emotional frequency of the home. And in 2023, a 3,500-year-old Egyptian sarcophagus was found, depicting a woman who looks exactly like Marge Simpson, down to the hair. Was this a prophecy or did the Simpsons already know? Because Marge is not a coincidence. She's Isis, Hathor, the cosmic mother, the divine feminine hiding in plain sight. Frank Ocean knew the loop. He released a song called Pyramids, a 9-minute sonic portal through Cleopatra, strip clubs, and time glitches. And in the official artwork, he embedded The Simpsons into the pyramid. He wasn't hiding the truth, he was showing you. The Simpsons are the pyramids, cartoon frequencies, ancient memory, and media ritual. Then he launched a jewelry brand called Homer, linking it to both The Simpsons and the mythological author of the Odyssey, the journey, the loop, the code. And Frank's birthday, October 28th, the same day Stargate released in 1994. The movie Stargate told you the blueprint, a portal buried in Egypt opened by code ruled by Ra, a false god using advanced tech. And now compare the math. CERN equals 23 and Stargate equals 23. Because this isn't fiction, this is physics, ritual physics. And yes, there was a real Stargate project run by the US government. Its mission, remote viewing. Psychic spies trained to see distant people, timelines, and dimensions, using only the power of the mind. Not fantasy, declassified science. Their tool, screens, symbols, and focused targets, just like the hypnotic glow of the TV you watch each day. Every Simpsons episode starts the same way. The family rushes to the couch to stare into the screen. It's not just a joke, it's a ritual reenactment. You're being programmed through repetition. The screen is the new Stargate. Liquid crystal, memory, radiation, color frequency. You're not watching for fun. You're watching to remember. Now, here's the part most people miss. The Simpsons was written by physicists and mathematicians. Al Jean, Ken Keeler, Jeff Westbrook. PhDs in advanced mathematics from Harvard and Yale. They weren't just writers, they were initiates. That's why the show encoded real physics, future tech, and rituals, because predictive programming is nonlinear memory transmission. It's all traced back to the dollar, the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. This is Egypt 2.0, not with stone, but with silicon. The old bloodlines rebranded with entertainment and electricity. In 2025, it becomes official. The U.S. launches the Stargate AI program, a $500 billion initiative to dominate timelines, memory, and consciousness. The old Stargate was stone. This one is built from code, because if you can shape consciousness, you control the simulation. Now back one more time. Why does Homer love bowling? Why is this team called the Pin Pals? Because the bowling pin is the crown of a tomb. He's playing the gods, bowling down realities with physics, laughter, and entropy. This is sacred geometry in comedy form. Even the word conehead references the ancient elongated skulls of priest kings and star beings, the divine memory we've forgotten, but the Simpsons kept alive. Here are some final codes. The Simpsons equals Egypt in the Latin cipher 572. This is because Springfield is a mimic of ancient Kemet. It's the playground of gods, radiation, rebirth, and resurrection. You weren't just watching a cartoon. You were watching a ritual, a non-linear Stargate coded with color, chaos, comedy, and memory. Homer is a tomb, Marge is Isis. The screen is your solar disk. Frank Ocean revealed the loop, and the gods are bolden for timelines. You are the Stargate. Decode it, and you awaken.
Over the last 8 months, we have lost 80% of the world's bee population. Literally hundreds of millions of bees have dropped dead, and nobody knows why. The food industry is literally panicking, and nobody is talking about this. In case you guys don't know how important bees are, because of these hundreds of millions of bees dropping dead, we have now lost $15 billion worth of food. This is all in less than a year. It's only been 8 months and nobody's talking about it. One beekeeper specifically, and this one kind of bothered me the most for some reason, he said that in January he started with over 20,000 bees, and as of April he has less than 1,000, and he does not know why. And it's not just him. There are many beekeepers with bees just dropping dead. I keep seeing so many things about Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber, Selena Gomez. So much gossip, and nobody's talking about the bees. We really have to save the bees. Without bees, we are nothing, literally.
You have no idea. Do you know who this is? You've been under a spell your entire life, and you didn't even know it. What this man did changed the entire world, and you today are still under his spell. Before I tell you who he is, I want you to do two things for me. One, tell me who you think this man is. Two, tell me what is your skin color. I want you to write it below, but promise me not to delete your answer later. Because once I tell you this, your mind will change forever. His name is William Berkeley, a rich elite who ran the Virginia colony hundreds of years ago, and he had a problem. See, back then there was no such thing as white or black. There was European and African. So they united under a man named Bacon. Yes, his name was Bacon. They realized they had a common enemy, the rich. He united them, and they actually fought against the rich elitists in this colony. It almost worked. That terrified people like William Berkeley, so they created a spell, and they put that spell as legislation and law for the first time. See, they created a spell of whiteness. This is the first time in history that we see white written, specifically in law. They told the poor Europeans, hey, stop working with the Africans. We'll give you privileges, land, and a new identity called white. And from that moment on, white and black became law and a spell binding humanity. You think I'm joking? A spell means story. A spell, the original meaning of spell, or the etymology of the word spell, was story, a tale, a narrative. And see, y'all have these stories running in the background of your subconscious mind, veiling reality as it truly is. So to be under a story, under a narrative, is to be under a spell. Some of you in the comments probably said you were white. Some of you in the comments probably said you were black. But here's the truth. I've never met a white person. I've never met a black person. All of you are just different shades of brown. Look at this color chart behind me. You know, when artists draw people, like realistic depictions, they don't use white or black, they use these different shades of brown. Look at these different races behind me. So then where do these races come from? Why do you believe in white and black people? That is the spell, the story. And if you want proof, here it is. There's more genetic diversity within racial groups than between them. Think about that, I'm not explaining. If you disagree with me, great, I'll be going live. And you can debate me, but there are many spells. There's the Bible spell, and that spell creates other spells, the monotheistic spell that keeps you trapped, and that's the reason why you don't know about Yahweh, because of these spells. You gotta break free from this so you can see the spiritual warfare happening. And the free audiobook for that is in the link at the top of the page. It's called World War Gods, the biography of Yahweh in Kent's book. Oh, and there's more free stuff. There's a free PDF, also a book, and it breaks down all of this. And there's more free stuff. There's a free course that shows you how to break spells in your own life. That is also in the link at the top of the page. Have fun learning. I love you all. Peace.
So, for example, do you have a driver's license? If it expires, do you renew it? If you don't and you get stopped, then what happens?
Yeah, I would say you want to get rid of it. Now, but again, we're not telling people how to live their lives, but if you want to be completely free and not be acting on behalf of the state, because that's essentially what they do. They get you to get a driver's license, and they're saying you're driving, but the definition of driving is actually in commerce. So you have to be acting in commerce for that driver's license, right? Regardless, what we do is we help people people set up their IDP, International Driver's Permit. You buy insurance, non-owners insurance and policies. You have your trust, the car. It's a vehicle, motor vehicle department. It's not the motor auto department, right? Think of words, mean things. So, but that automobile that you're operating, that you're traveling in as a free individual, you're actually operating on behalf of the trust. And that's why, like, I've been operating and living my life in trust for many years.
Remember how the World Economic Forum magically predicted the pandemic in 2019? They were doing drills and live simulations, and they knew that it was going to come from a meat market. They said it was going to come from a meat market in South America, but it ended up coming from a meat market in China. Well, they just came out with another prediction. They are predicting a global cyber attack, a catastrophic global cyber attack, one that would take down all of the power grids worldwide, leaving the entire world without electricity, computers, internet, nothing. And now they're running drills on this. Now, interesting enough, one of the top cybersecurity professors in the country just happened to go missing over the weekend, along with his wife. He was a principal investigator in charge of cybersecurity. Now, prior to his disappearance and his wife's disappearance, all of his emails and his phone and his university accounts were all cleared out, deleted. Indiana University also erased his wife's profile. Now, his wife was listed as the lead systems analyst programmer at Indiana University's Library of Technology division. So basically, the one guy who's like in charge of and in like on top of all of the best cybersecurity in America just happens to go missing, and all of his information is just erased. And his wife too. So, hang on, 2025 might get pretty spicy.
So the CIA released a document saying that the universe is a hologram and teaching people how to develop superhuman abilities. I've been breaking it down section by section, and this is part 11, which is all about the time-space dimension. In the first line there, they say this is where it gets really interesting. To summarize this as easy as possible, is essentially time is defined as energy in motion. And for something to be in motion, it must be in a contained space. Or else how do you relatively measure the movement? So essentially, time and space is a container for which the energy flows that we are measuring. So essentially, without this container that is time and space, all there is infinite energy, and infinite energy runs through everything because it's not contained by time and space. And so when you're accessing these superhuman abilities to be able to astral travel, to be able to quantum jump, essentially what they're saying is when you're transcending time and space, you're moving your consciousness into infinite energy where time and space no longer exists. This is why you can create miracles and do things that wouldn't normally be possible when your consciousness is in the construct or the container and is limited by time and space. Hopefully that makes some bit of sense, but I wanted to make sure I went over that because it's going to be important for the next section. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, and I want to do a quick update about a document that got passed by the United Nations this weekend called the Pact of the Future document. It's two parts, one on science and technology and one about the youth and future generations. It is quite egregious, and it was done by a procedure called the silence procedure, which makes it a pact, and if no one objected, it is automatically adopted and put into the record as being completely adopted. This is the World Health Organization's runaround, or end around. Since they were not able to get the World Health Organization treaty passed, they decided to take it to the General Assembly. And it is even more egregious than what the World Health Organization was wanting to get passed. Let me just read you something really quickly about what is inside of this pact that is now being accepted by 193 nations around the world, and equally open armed accepted by our current administration. Everyone, it says that this is the power structure fully digital and maximized for the control of the masses. Everyone will be expected to have a biometric digital ID that marks them not just as citizens of an individual country, but as a global citizen. So anytime you hear global citizen or anytime you hear sustainability, think that this is an egregious thing that's happening at the level of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Anyone that has a dissonant opinion will be labeled as misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation and memory hold. Perpetrators for unapproved information will be fact-checked and punished by the system, which will be operated and enforced by artificial intelligence. Punishments will include being locked out of one's bank account, being unable to make certain purchases, unable to get on an airplane, on a subway, drive on public roads. This is the future, according to the world's self-appointed overlords at the United Nations. These are unelected bureaucrats that are making decisions about our country, our sovereignty around the world. Nothing could be more important at this point in time than to get prepared, have water, food, digital access, flashlights, a way to communicate with family and friends. Now is really the time to get involved and get prepared, because this is what's coming. Our Congress is sitting on its hands. There was a press conference on the 17th about this, and no further action has been taken. So it's up to us to mobilize and to go forward, particularly with your local sheriffs, to get your constitutional sheriffs to say, this isn't going to be allowed in my county. Thank you very much. Take action. We've been talking about the onset of one world order, one world government, one world religion, one world money for a long time. Well, it's no longer coming. It's here.
The only thing I'm going to say here is share this video. I don't know how long this video is going to stay on this page. I really have little or no comments here, but share this video so that a lot of people can get to see it, and if possible, get prepared like she said. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned and stay woke.
If this was, I'm going to use this word predicted for lack of a better word. This is not prophecy, but prediction. If this was predicted 27 years ago, somebody knew something. Okay, here's the list. This is an abbreviated list. I could have made it much longer. You know I can. I didn't. Okay, you ready for the list? Fast mutating viral disease pandemics. Genetically developed vaccines. Smart IDs. 1997! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scream, but, just make sure none of you are nodding off, because the eyes get heavy. And DNA database tracking. DNA chips. Get this one. 1997, gene-based pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
Transmitting genetic instructions for a disease process. How about this one? You ready for it? Wait for it. Artificial intelligence to determine gene patterns. 27 years ago, who had heard about AI?
Wow.
Apparently they had. How about this one? Robots for doing genome sequencing.
Robots? Wow. Okay.
And then this one blew me away. Using recombinant DNA for making spike proteins. 1997? It gets even worse. Smart homes.
Smart cities.
They have a whole chapter on smart homes / smart cities.
Yeah.
This one will absolutely floor you. It did me. In 1997, and this is, you can do the word search and research yourself. They predicted not 2025, but by 2020, that people would be working from home virtually.
No.
Come on. Listen, that's, you know, I mean, how do you know that? Because you're the one who did that. World War III, of course. Nuclear devices causing widespread contamination.
Yeah.
Nanotech devices. This stuff was never even heard of. Digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
And last but certainly not least, vaccination programs. I'm sorry, I got to chuckle, because if I don't, I'll cry. Vaccination programs run by organizations like the World Health Organization for a global killer that has yet to emerge.
Guys.
First printing, February 1997.
If this was published 27 years ago, it means somebody knew something. The last part actually got me. The vaccination programs run by the killer that we know, and the lab-grown meat, all the genetical stuff, AI and all those things predicted 27 years ago. For those of you who want to see the full video, it's on the description on that video. So just go there and see things for yourself. Meanwhile, share this video for others to see and understand what is going on. I posted a similar video and someone said we are putting fear in the minds of the people. This one here will help some of you to understand that we are doing this just to keep you informed of everything that is going on. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.
For those of us who are Canadians, I'm convinced in some ways that the government doesn't care about its citizens. Now, I've read in the local news that the Prime Minister is embarking on building a new Prime Minister's residence. How can the Prime Minister, at this time when we are experiencing tariffs and more expenses, decide to build a new home for the Prime Minister? Don't you see that their head is in the wrong place? Can you imagine the amount of money it's going to cost to build a Prime Minister's new residence? Folks, listen, the politician and the preacher, man, all they care about is their comfort and their pockets. I'll say it again. The politician and the preacher, they only are concerned with their own lifestyle and their own interests. We as citizens, I don't know how we're gonna, but we have to come together and see what these politicians are. They are all in the same boat. I don't know. It seems as if we've set up a new monarchy in our democratic countries, and it's called the politicians, the prime ministers. You know, very few of them are genuine and trying to do things to help those of us who have to live on a budget, you know, experience the high cost of living in this country. And I can't believe it, folks. I just can't believe it that in the midst of what we're facing with the guy, you know the guy I'm talking about, the US capital P, which could be used to describe him in other ways, is going to affect us. right? It's going to affect us. So we just need, I don't know, I feel like, are the politicians ever going to change? Just my little rant here.
You know when they say all the world is a stage? It's not just a saying. Putin's an actor. Trump, we know, had his own reality show. Zelensky didn't just have a TV show, he had a Netflix series for 5 years where he played a normal guy who ended up becoming president of Ukraine. Every single one of them has an IMDb. And here's the kicker. The Pentagon has its own studio. The Pentagon. Washington, D.C. Do you understand that? And I want you to Google this and look it up for yourself. Obama, lovely Obama, has a production company. He has a deal with Netflix for over 200 movies. One of them including Leave the World Behind. He produced that, one of the producers on it. Now people would say, oh, he's just giving us advice because he was president, therefore he can give some good, feedback on when they're really writing it. Stop. When are you guys gonna wake up? You're in a show. Not saying don't participate, but just understand that don't get too involved because it's a movie and they're laughing at you. The distraction is amazing. But underneath that, we actually are the writers and the creators. And they need us to make it happen. We have the power. That's the good news.
Dude, I can't do it anymore. Can't do what? All of it. Wake up, gym, eggs, work, lunch, scroll, dinner, Netflix, sleep, repeat. Sick of all that shit. So switch it up. I did. Changed gyms. Sick of that gym. Switched to oatmeal. Hate oatmeal. Changed jobs. Sick of that job. Watched new shows. Sick of those shows. Everything's just a different flavor of fucking ugh. Yeah, I feel that. I switched from coffee to matcha. Now I hate both. I tried reading books. Got sick of words. I went on a hike. Got sick of rocks. I even went on a spontaneous road trip last weekend. Guess what? Sick of roads. Sick of roads. Sick of gas stations. Sick of beef jerky. I'm sick of my phone. But when I put it down, I'm sick of not looking at it. Bro, I meditated yesterday. How'd that go? Got sick of breathing. Yesterday, I rearranged my entire apartment. Thought I'd make it feel fresh. You know what it feels like now? What? Wrong. I know. Everything's just wrong. I made a vision board last week. Guess what I feel now? Disgust? Deep disgust. I think we're broken. We are. Even this conversation. Kinda sick of it. You wanna get lunch? Already sick of the idea. Same. I miss being excited about pancakes. Dude. Same.